Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? This is Todd from Nopickspodcast.
What's good, family? This is Joe, Nopickspodcast.
All right, so today we have some more TikTok content to react to. So, fellas, how would y'all like to pay child support for a kid that ain't yours? The courts know, the mom knows, you know, but you still got to pay. All right, so I'm going to play this clip, and Joe and I are going to react to it.
I'm about to be pissed.
Course, dad was ordered to pay child support for a child who isn't his. He turned to our Target 8 investigators for help. We uncovered it's perfectly legal for the state to order him to pay support for another man's child and to deny biological fathers who want to pay from doing so. Target 8's Heather Walker exposes a law that's being called outrageous. Joseph Shamilar is a divorced dad of two. Not even 9 months after the split, Joe got some shocking news from his boys.
And they got in the car and they were bouncing up and down, telling me that mom has a new baby. And I said, well, is she babysitting? Is she, is she looking after someone?
So you didn't think it was real?
No, I had no idea.
His ex-wife had given birth. She had gotten pregnant during their separation by another man. Legally, she was still married to Joe. Court papers clearly acknowledge the baby is not Joe's, but Albert Bush's, and that Bush had established a personal, financial, or custodial relationship with the child. The court ordered medical expenses be split between the biological parents. But the Friday before Father's Day, Joe got a letter in the mail from a friend of the court.
I thought, my God, this is hilarious. It's Father's Day weekend, and here's the biggest joke that I think I've ever had played on me transpiring right now.
The letter said he owed $8,500 in back child support plus medical expenses for a baby his ex-wife had with another man. So the court was asking you to pay for a child that's not yours.
Exactly.
I went to Ottawa County friend of the court office to get answers. How is this legal? Their spokesperson agreed to do an on-camera interview, but on the scheduled day changed his mind and would only answer our questions over the phone. He told us it didn't matter who the biological dad is, only what's in the best interest of the child. In other words, which one can take best care of the child financially. The court decided that was Joe. Do you think this law needs to be changed in any way? We went straight to the man who tried to fix the law, Senator Rick Jones.
I certainly would agree that if you're married to someone, they then run off and have a child by another man, that you should not have to pay child support. That seems a bit outrageous.
The original law was written back in 1956. It said if a child is born to a married woman, the biological dad has no legal rights. Last year, it was updated to allow husbands like Joe to fight financial responsibility. What's the biggest problem with the law and the language, would you say?
It's not clearly drafted.
Melissa Drake is Joe's attorney. She tells us the law isn't just failing him, it's not working for biological dads either. Rob Recknagel says he's had trouble eating and sleeping since his son was born.
Every single day that goes by that I don't get to see him, it just gets tougher. I don't know what he looks like.
Rob says he searched online hospital nurseries just to see if he could find his son. He says he didn't know his girlfriend was still married when they got together. Rob says they were planning to blend their families. Rob bought a ring, but before she gave birth, Rob says he got this email saying although the baby was his, she was going to raise it with her husband.
I'm standing here saying, I want my son in my life. I want to pay child support. Let's sign the proper documents and let me just do that.
You're trying to do the right thing.
That's all I want.
What can be done about this?
What can be done about it? People should be more responsible and shouldn't have sex outside of marriage, shouldn't father children outside of marriage, and should think before they act. That's what needs to happen. Could we do more? Yes. Could we fine tune it? Yes. Should a father have to pay support on a child when it's not his child? No. So we do need to do more, but we've made some monumental changes.
Bro.
This upset me so much, bro.
This is crazy. This is absolutely fucking crazy.
I knew it was gonna piss me off, but this is crazy level. Wow, bro.
I mean, what's your thoughts, Joe? What's your thoughts, man? Tell me what you think.
So we've been pushing, well, not pushing for, but we've been endorsing mandatory DNA testing, right? Which I still stand by. As soon as a child is born, there should be a DNA test already to prove that it is that father's child, right?
Yeah.
But this is a separate issue because even if you know it's not yours,
Yeah.
this is different. This is like a
Yeah.
new level because even if you know it's not yours,
Yeah.
in that state or any state that has that law that is poorly drafted, like the attorney said, you could be liable for, you could basically just have to provide for a child that is not biologically yours, and the state knows this. What do you mean you're going to choose the parent that is most financially no, bro, this is a scam, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a scam. And the thing is, the shorty knows it's not his child, and she knows this law and the way how to work it, so she's working the law.
Yeah.
So she's a she's a POS because of this, because she's well aware of what she's doing, bro.
He took him to
She's
court.
well aware.
Like, she filed the paperwork in court to get him.
She's
put him on
well
child
aware
support.
of this system and how she's playing the system. This pisses me off, bro. It really, really does. What are some of your initial thoughts on this mess, man?
Yo, I mean, obviously, any guy will probably say the same thing. This shit is absolutely fucking ridiculous. How the fuck is this fair? It ain't my fucking kid. Why would I take care of a kid that you conceived with another nigga during our marriage? Why the fuck would I do that shit? And the phrase, I like the phrase that they use in the TikTok joint we just played. I'm gonna pull out my notes. Said in the best interest of the child. So they pick the parent that could financially take care of the kid based off the best interest of the child. If it ain't my fucking kid, if my ex gets pregnant by some other nigga and you have a kid, fuck that kid. I don't care about that kid. It's not my kid. It's your kid.
Right.
So what do you mean the best interest of that? Like, why the fuck do I give a shit?
Right.
Then you make this new family, right? I also take care of mine with you, obviously, because they're mine. But no. So basically,
right.
Basically, she had sex or procreated with a male lesser than you. And now you're, even though it's not, you didn't enjoy the fruits of that labor, which is, banging her back out and having a baby, you are on a hook for taking care of it because you're more successful than the nigga she picked after you. Ain't that normally how it works? When chicks pick dudes, after the relationship is over, they don't normally pick a dude that's like at your level or above. It's either, it's normally lower. And I could attest to that personally. It's definitely lower. So because you picked a dude that's lower, I gotta pay for you picking a lower dude. If you so much the shit and so much in demand, why don't you fucking get a better dude, more successful than me? So that way y'all can, you can show your worth and be super fucking independent. Also, these fucking feminist groups, why ain't y'all fighting this shit?
Right. Y'all want equality, right? Equality? Yo, it's sad because you remember that TED talk of that woman who went and she started researching the men's rights movement. And and she started at first, she was like super feminist, and she started realizing she had heavy biases when she was doing the research. But she started hearing about issues like this, like family court, paternity laws, marriage laws, and she was realizing how many men were just screwed over by the system. Men were like poor, couldn't afford rent or just to live because they were paying alimony and child support. Men who lost their businesses, men who lost custody of their children over some BS and couldn't see their kids, but were still paying child support. Like so many ways that men are just screwed through the system. And it sucks, bro. It's almost like, and listen, the government gets paid when families separate and you got to go through the courts and all that. The government gets get paid. Family courts are incentivized to get split custody and to have some kind of child support payment because they get a cut on the back end from all that money that we pay out. They get money from that, so they're incentivized to keep the machine going and to make men pay these ridiculous fees or amounts because they're gonna get a cut out of it in the back. They don't care. They don't care. So it seems like, bro, it honestly seems like, and I wish more women would see this, but like, it really feels like there's a concerted effort from the government to split the nuclear family apart, to keep women on one side and to take care of them because, Uncle Sam will give them the benefits, the Section 8, the SNAP, they get the alimony, they get the custody, they get the support. They're incentivized to divorce these men. There's no fault divorces now. Like, it's almost like the government wants the nuclear family to fall apart, bro. Like, that's my tinfoil hat coming on. But it just seems like it's something they can pass a law easily overnight to send billions of dollars to a country for a war. They can change electoral college votes the way it works. They can change that overnight. They can do so many things overnight. You can't tell me that you can't change outdated laws from the 1956, she said. This is
But
from like 70, 60, 70 years ago.
but you're under the impression that women actually want to fight a law that benefits them so severely.
But that's what I'm saying. But the government backs them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It feels like
for
the
sure.
government
For sure.
wants this to happen.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy theory. I admit it, but it feels that way because it's
Yeah.
like, where's the protection for? It's like we don't, as men, you get penalized for being a stand-up man who made better choices, who was financially responsible,
Yeah.
ambitious, and made more bread. It just decentivizes that because even the man who, he was in the best interest of the child. He was the one who was making more money and could be a better provider for that child that wasn't even his. So they
Yeah.
just put him on the child support.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did everything right, but he gets penalized for that,
Yeah.
and it sucks, bro. I'm so tired of this, man. Like,
I got a
please,
dude. There's a dude I work with. Well, he went to another office, but there's a dude I work with. He he's he just recently went through a divorce, right? And he has 2 kids with his ex-wife. But he found out the reason they got divorced is he found out that she was cheating the whole time. He was in the military too, so he went to Iraq. He went to like he'd be deployed, for years at a time. 1 year here, 1 year there, whatever. And he's such a nice guy, whatever. He never really questioned anything. He found out eventually that his wife was getting with a pookie, right? So while he was the provider male, he was paying for everything. She didn't really have a job. She had little jobs here and there. But he found out that like his kids may not be his because she was with the bull during the same period, right? Like the dude worked so much, bro. That it was just like it was put it this way, it's easy for her to do her thing because he worked so much.
right.
I mean, so he when it came to light in court, him and I were talking about it recently. It came to light in court. He's like, listen, I'm interested in a DNA test because I want to know if these 2 kids are mine. You know what the judge told him, bro? He told me he said the judge looked at him and was like, I mean, why would you want to do that? I mean, you've already been taking care of the kids this long.
They don't care.
The judge said it, bro.
They
The
don't care.
actual judge said that shit.
You mean to tell me you don't think that these guys know what's going on and they just don't care?
They just don't care.
They don't
bro.
care, bro. They're going to get paid. They don't care. That's what I'm saying, bro. They don't care. Like, women, ladies, don't. You should never question why the rates of marriage are declining. You should never question why men are checking out of dating and taking y'all seriously, and men just want to engage in hookup culture and get the nookie if they can and keep it moving. Why men want to just chill and be on their purpose and play their video games and go to their job and live in peace without all that. You should never question that. There's too much. These are the reasons why these relations, like men are waking up, bro. I've been shafted by the system too, and you have too. We are both victims of the same exact. We don't talk about it all the time because I don't want to put certain people on blast, but like, we are victims of the family court, child support system. We're victims of that too, bro. That shit screwed us over too. It really did. And this whole like, well, why don't you just don't have sex? But listen, if people are gonna have sex, they're gonna have sex. We have enough contraceptives. We have enough technology where people can have sex without getting pregnant. If people want to partake and have some fun, do you? But don't tell people, well, you shouldn't have been having sex. What you mean? Well, she didn't have to have the baby. She could have gotten rid of it. She could have been on contraceptives. I mean, even if it did happen, if the man doesn't want to keep it, he can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know, bro. I'm just, oh my God, this makes me so angry, bro.
It seemed like the danger is getting married. It seemed like the danger is within marriage because the chick, before they got divorced, she had a baby on him while they were separated.
Right.
So it's like if they weren't married, then he wouldn't be on the hook.
Right. And then the other scenario that we didn't address yet is, so the man was with her. She didn't tell him she was still married. She got pregnant.
Right.
And when he was ready to commit and raise that child, come to find out she was still married. And then she decided to keep that child and to raise it with her husband. And that man was denied access to his child. Bro, this makes me so upset, bro. Like I can feel my blood pressure rising because like how do you keep a child away from a man who wants to actively be in that kid's life? He's sitting there crying. I'm looking at him and I'm like, damn, bro, he wants to be in his child's life and now he can't. Legally he cannot because of some stupid ass law. Oh my gosh, bro, this makes me so angry, man.
Dudes, listen, man, dudes be deleting themselves over this stuff.
I know.
I mean, dudes go into depression. They like it's a bad deal.
They don't care.
and they don't
They don't
care,
care.
bro. They don't.
They don't care.
They
The
don't
women,
care
the
because
women
it's
don't
like
care.
it benefits them not to care. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like we mentioned it before. The scales have just been tipped so crazy in the other direction, where for so long in human history, the scales were tipped in the man's favor. Now it's definitely. I don't even think it's debatable. It's definitely tipped in the woman's favor, 1,000%. A woman can slap you, call the cops, and you go to jail.
Right.
Like
Yep.
you go to jail. She can hit you first. You push her or something like that. She calls the cops. Hey, listen, he pushed me. She ain't gonna tell you. She ain't gonna tell the cops they slapped you.
Right.
You know when the cops come to your crib, they go. You be like, yo, she slapped me. They gonna be like, yeah, whatever, buddy. Come on, go to jail.
Yep.
Let's go.
Put the cuffs
Get
on.
about
Turn
it.
around.
Yep.
Right. Right. It's sad, bro. It really is sad. And the thing is, it's not sustainable. It's really not. And the more men check out from marriage, the more men become more disciplined with their seed and stop procreating with ratchets and with like degenerates, which is what I call them, and toxic women. As that starts happening even more too, like because men are having less sex. Women. The average woman has way more bodies than the average man now. So women are having way more sex because sex is easy to get for a woman, right? You can get dick anywhere, and it's like men are really checking out. Men are just checking out. So they're gonna start feeling it, bro. They're feeling it now, but it's gonna get worse before it gets any better. And I really want to keep the fire on them because I'm tired of this, bro. Like I'm so sick of this, man. It's so frustrating being a man in America. Like it really, really is, and they
Guess
don't even
what?
care about it.
You're told to man up,
Man
be
up,
a fucking be a man,
right?
and stop bitching about it.
Right. And you see there are men in positions of power who co-sign on the bullshit because that
Yeah,
judge was a man.
yeah,
And he was like, why does it matter if you've been taking it? Because that's not my fucking kid.
yeah,
What do you mean, why does it matter? That's not my DNA. That's not my legacy. That's another
yeah,
man's seed. That's not my seed.
yeah.
What do you mean, what does it matter? But
Yeah.
do you remember that family court, he was a judge, and he found out that I think 2 or 3 of his kids weren't his.
Yeah.
Why? Because his wife got sick and needed an organ or something, or a blood donation or a transfusion, and they did some DNA testing and realized all his kids weren't his. And he was already like older. He was like I think in his 60s or his 70s. He was pretty old, but he was talking about how like them kids wasn't his. Look at
Yeah.
Trippie Redd. I don't listen to Trippie Redd. Have you seen that recently?
I
He
heard
came
about
out and
it.
went
Yeah.
because he was talking about the chick who said that his kid was his. He went out to the world, said he had a child now, all this and that. His mom told him, get a test, get a DNA test. He got it. Guess what? That kid wasn't his. So he got off early,
Yeah.
thankfully. But this happens more often than women want to admit, than people in general want to admit. And we already know about a third of people, how many people, about a third of men are probably not the legitimate parent or legitimate father for a child.
It's in France. It's illegal to do DNA testing. Like they don't even. It's illegal in France to do DNA testing.
Oh my
Because
god.
they're like, yo, they're basically like, yo, if all these dudes found out that they wasn't dead, there'd be a lot of motherfucking kids not being taken care of, and we as the government ain't taking care of the motherfuckers. So we're gonna make this shit illegal. So I mean, it must tell you the culture of France. Them chicks must be out there busting it open for a real one, for real.
This is
But anyway,
sad, bro.
tell us what y'all think, family. Listen, this is a tough conversation. Hope we're gonna talk about this again, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we try to keep them a little shorter now. You know what I mean? But listen, thanks for the engagement. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the new. Listen, thanks for all the eyes that we get right now. Right? Like, comment, subscribe. We on the move. We still making moves. We're gonna keep putting out content. Listen, I said this before, but we ain't going nowhere.
Yep, we're gonna set up a live soon, bro. I want to have a live after we get everything
live,
calmed down. We want to have another live. Now we got more subscribers. We got engagement, so we about to get busy.
All right, until next time, y'all.
Until next time.